Hi everyone, and welcome to the 5th round qualifier of the British Online Championship. And so today the qualification slots will be decided. And here we go. You're going to share your screen?
It's there.
It's there.
So, there's some pretty yeah, I mean, as you can see, I mean, if you think 12 people are going to qualify in principle, then yeah, I mean, I guess that around 3.5 might get you into qualifying.
So it can be more than 12. So
Indeed.
They take the 12th score, and then anyone who also achieves that score qualifies. Yeah, I was looking at it. I agree with you. I think 3.5, because it could just about be 4 if all those games for the people between 3 are decisive, and there are draws and there are games above. But otherwise, it's going to be 3.5. I think it's very likely to be 3.5, and so you could have a lot more than 12 qualifying, I think, here.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be quite tense and quite interesting, I think. So we've got some good matchups here. We've got Hitchinyan on 4 playing Gerasimos Giakos. We've got Arjun Kolani against Harry Grieve. Paul Dargan against Lauren Spencer. Tristan Cox, Rock Troll, against Jonathan Payne. Leo Keeley against Chris Duncan. Chris lost the second game or the first game. He lost one of the early games in any case, but he's come roaring back. Andrew McGettigan playing against Checkmatelot Peter Finn. Checkmatelot's had a bit of a tough time, long endings, some defense as well, but he's right there in the mix. Amir Abbas playing Benjamin Hammond. Edison Sue playing against Jay Cranston. Frederick Gordon against George Lingy. And then we've got one of the top seeds, Lawrence Webb, playing against George Gazis. We've got Ali Chavez playing against the Cypriot, Alexandros Ethelontis. Robert Starley against Dimitrios Levon Zakarian. Oliver Isaac against Oliver Stubbs. Simon Smith against Jude Shearsby, Young Jr. So, and it keeps on going. So, I mean, it's really, there's really a lot of people here who are right in the mix. Theo Cowrie playing against Hugo Fowler.
Yeah, and Theo was the person that beat Chris Duncan in round 2.
Ah, that's right.
And he's very young, isn't he? He's born in 2010. So he's only 10 or 11.
Yeah, so I mean, I think we're going to have some good matchups there. It's some people might play it tactically, but I think other people will go for it. So certainly, if you're on 2.5, I think it really is all guns blazing, and
you got to go for the win there, because I think there's no way that 3. There's no way that 3 will be enough.
No, 3 will never be enough. Yeah, because I mean,
but I do think 3.5 will be. We'll have to see. It's not mathematically certain, but I do think it will be.
I think in general, before the round, you'd have to be betting on 3.5. I think that would be the thing. And so yeah, I mean, we're going to see. It's going to be very, very interesting. So all right. So well, it's going to start very soon. I'm just going to grab this, put it safe there, and then we're going to get to the chess.com screen, and then we can start having a little look. Now, Hitchinyan, I always
has started actually.
Let's just give it a go. Peshka the Great. Wonder where that comes from. So that's e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4. The slow but poisonous Italian, as a recent book called it. d3, and I suppose in these positions, black's got 2 main ideas: to put the bishop on e7 or to put the bishop on c5. Seemingly more active on c5, but can be a bit of a target for advancing white pawns, either c3, b4 or c3, d4. On e7, a little bit more passive, but also deals with any pins against the knight very easily. So bishop c5, c3, a5, a4. Yeah, I'm not really up to all these subtleties. I do believe that playing a5 this early is a little early. And I'm also kind of thinking that c3 isn't normally played that quickly, but this might easily transpose into standard lines, really. So and I think it's probably not a silly thing to there is a lot of theory on this line nowadays, and well, just confusing your opponent with a slightly different move order is probably a very good idea, because
you might, as black, you might sometimes go a6 rather than a5, mightn't you?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of subtleties in these lines, but you do often go a6 rather than a5. But often you go a6, and then white does something, and then you go a5. So you waste a move, and there's a huge amounts of subtleties in these lines. But this is fairly normal, So or normal. I'm not quite sure it's a normal move order, but it's a pretty normal structure. So we're going to see what white and black come up with there. Okay, let's move on to the next board. Iron Lani, Tactic Monster 12. Against Harry Grieve. Oh, we've got a Caracan here. So both sides playing quite solidly. Harry playing the Caracan.
Chris calls it the toxic Caracan.
Toxic Caracan.
Toxic Caracan.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Bishop g4, so the 2 knights, and here black plays a very solid line here. Swaps off the bishop for the knight, and then e6. Bobby Fischer memorably had
Hi, Dakota.
Hey, Dakota. Had an awful lot of games in this line in the what's it, the Bled interzonal of 1960, and no, Curacao interzonal, and lost quite a few games, or was suffering in a lot of games here. But d4 was actually recommended by Sveshnikov in a book that he wrote with his son. Sveshnikov is quite a famous Russian grandmaster. He wrote it with his son. It was a blitz repertoire, so a repertoire for specifically for blitz, and he recommended d4 with the idea is that if you go d takes c4, I take back for the queen, knight f6, I can go queen over to h4, which is looking vaguely hacky. So black played knight f6, and here white took a somewhat unusual decision. E takes d5. So we're back now into an exchange Caracan, which is interesting transposition there. Slightly wondering about was knight b4 possible to get the bishop pair, bishop b5 check knight d7, because this threat against c2 is not trivial to defend against. But Harry decided to play g6, and after c3, bishop g7, bishop g5, we're into fairly normal waters. Bishop g5 is a little bit odd. I'm not sure whether after h6 maybe white's idea is just to go bishop back to d2 and claim that the light squares have been weakened. That's possible. Interesting idea. I mean, I guess that black will have to play h6 at some stage, because after all, if you don't go h6, you're never going to be able to move your queen from d8. So but not clear. I mean, you are sort of thinking, ideas of castles. I could play h4 or something like that. These are vaguely popping up in your head. You've got to watch out, though, because black's got this e5 break in the center, which could be quite awkward if white isn't careful. So, okay, interesting game. Just a slightly cautious opening, I'd say, from white. But, we're going to see how that one turns out.
White would need 3.5 probably is okay anyway. So they're probably okay anyway for qualifying these top few boards.
Yeah, I think
then they're all going to have to start playing for wins.
So Paul Dargan. Oh, this is interesting. This is a very topical. Oh, good Lord! A very topical Caracan. So. It was a rather unusual sideline, I suppose. Although the great Victor Korchnoi played it in the 1970s with a great deal of success, and then mysteriously gave it up somehow. But picked up by David Howell, and got some good results with it. And now probably the most popular Caro-Kann line, I think, in the make. And the key thing is this move H5, which aims to stop the knight from coming out to G3 and also create some threats against the king side if white castles. I remember I saw this for the first time. I'm not really a 1e4 player, but I played a blitz game against John Spielman at the Andrew Whiteley Memorial.
Oh, yes.
And I just castled queenside and started hacking John, and that seemed to work out fine. But yeah, it really wasn't so bad for. In principle, it should have been fine for black, and I said this has been scoring very, very well. Very complicated lines, so interesting. We'll see how that one pans out.
Looks like Paul's having a bit of a think here. He maybe hasn't faced it before.
Could be possible. Hey, Jonathan Payne against Rocktroll. What has happened here in heavens? We've had knight c3, so it's a 4 knights, bishop c5, bishop g2. Oh, Rocktroll randomizing here. So knight d4, quite common to do this. You just swap off a pair of knights and then try and play c6. But white tried to exploit it and gain the bishop pair.
Yeah. As well you might.
Rocktroll did something a bit random.
Oh, I would go c3 here.
King f2 and b5, and the Dalsko bishop is the knight is trapped. I'm not particularly convinced about this, to be honest. It feels like, well, actually, although queen c2 is a funny move, because I mean here black could just play knight g4 check, which feels. Sort of feels like
okay, and queen d1 would have stopped that.
Yeah, I sort of feel because white's got the 2 bishops, bit of control over the center. You shouldn't be giving black the opportunity to get rid of those 2 bishops. I don't think, that feels a bit odd to me, really. But we'll see. We'll see what Rocktroll does there. Interesting game, interesting concept in the opening there. I've got Leo Keeley against Chris Duncan, and let's see what I can get that. Oh, good lord. Serve Drunken Knight. Ah, this is one of these. This is a very risky line of the dragon, you have to say. G6 F4. I was always more tempted to go something like knight bd7 in these positions and stop white from playing e5. But I think this was at one stage, people thought this was just a winner for white. But then it was discovered that this wasn't winning for white. But it's still, I assume Chris knows this quite well, being a lifelong dragon player. But it does look quite risky.
I tell you what. Nut Flush and Dionysian. So Paul Dargan, the game we just saw, has already been agreed a draw. I think they're looking at the qualification scores, and I think that does enough for both players. So we might see a few on this point score doing the quick draw.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. It would.
Which will then put some very exciting games on the people with 2.5, who are all having to play for a win.
Exactly. Let me just I'm just going to check the theory of this just to see what's happening in there. Bear with me whilst I quickly whiz through and see. I just remember seeing this in old books and saying, bishop g7 is a big mistake because of e5. Oh, right. But I do think that that this idea has been corrected since. Yeah. I mean, it seems to be scoring fine. So, what have we got here? We've got. I mean, what ideas does White have? White's got a couple of things. I mean, we've got we've got the idea of g4 to trap the knight on h5. We've got the idea of e6 because the bishop is obviously pinned. Well, we've also got actually another idea, which is Queen E2, which could be interesting, which tries to keep all of those threats, basically. So let's have a look. I mean, if I go G4, or let's just... if I go G4 in this position, then Black's actually got the annoying trick knight takes F4 here. And if bishop takes F4, D takes E5, and I'm afraid we're just looking at a fork, basically. So, yeah, so Black's just going to be a pawn up there. So that's not actually possible. If we go E6, then we can take on E6 here. Knight takes C6, and then go bishop takes C3. This is very similar to a line of the Perk, in actual fact, against the Austrian attack.
This is looking really familiar to me, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I think that's probably why. And you know, probably if bishop D7, you'll probably just take with the king like this, and you know, you emerge fine somehow. So these violent options are probably not that great. I think Queen E2 nowadays is the most interesting line. Yeah, keeping the threats of E6 and G4 in reserve, and then simply Black's going to have to find something about that. But we'll see what Leo's got prepared there. He's Leo has played the obvious E6 there. And Chris has played FE in an instant, so I think he knows.
Chris is still in his theory, isn't he?
Yeah,
sure.
I think Chris knows this well. I would have thought so, to be honest. I mean, a lifelong dragon player, you know.
Dionysian, we don't shout at you, no. But I think this means you qualify, right? Have you worked it all out? I think it does mean you qualify. So, I think it's a good thing, huh? And it'll probably make a lot of players happy. Because I think that means that 3.5 is the qualifying point. So it could be like, I think it could be like over 20 players if all the results go.
Yeah, but I quite like that, to be honest. I think that's you know, I think the you know, the more players that good players that get in and play in the British, I think that's a good thing. So yeah, no, that's a very sensible thing to do, Dionysian. So,
Trifunovic game, Queen D8 rather than Queen A5.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Trifunovic. It's really funny. Trifunovic, when he was young, was a very aggressive player, and they called him.
This is Alex Trifunovic.
No, this is the GM Trifunovic.
Ah,
and they called him Typhonovic because he was so aggressive. But he later turned into a very solid player. But yeah. So this is very interesting. But I think yeah, I mean, I think Chris is in his theory here. Still in his comfort zone. In Chris Ward's book. Yes, of course, on the dragon. It's I'm not quite sure. Yeah, the modern classic is Gawain Jones' book on the dragon, 2 volumes. So and he's one of the big dragon players nowadays. So it's that would be have to have a look what's in there as well. But Chris Ward's is the old-fashioned classic. It must be quite old now, that book. I think must be about 20 years old, I think. It's he plays knight d7, not bishop g7. Yeah, I always played knight d7 in these sort of lines. I got similar ones in the Najdorf as well, and I never let white go e5 like that. But yeah. Okay. Fantastic. Thanks for that info. B2 2c3 Sicilian.
I'm trying to work out B22C3.
Trying to work out the variation, actually. That was it's okay. Let's have a little look then. Whoops, I'm going wildly there. We've got Checkmate a lot up next.
Yes, against the Gringolard 64, Andrew McGettigan.
Gringolard.
B22's the ECO code.
Oh,
very good.
Always reminds me that There's a story that Vishyanand and his wife were checking into a hotel, and they had a safe in their hotel, and they got asked for a code, and Aruna said 2706, and Vishy said, "What is that? That's not my ELO rating." He said, "It's the date of our wedding anniversary." Did you see, by the way, just on that theme, did you see the post from Peter Heine Nielsen on Facebook recently? He said that around this time, this is the anniversary of him meeting his wife, so Victoria Smilete, and but he can never remember the exact day. But it was during a tournament, and he knows that on that day he beat Rasmussen with black in a King's Indian Samish, and so every year he always looks up that game in the database, can see the date, and then remembers when to buy a present for his wife. I thought it was a very typical story for a chess player somehow. So this is checkmate lot against Andrew McGettigan. So what have we got here? H4. Yeah, this was a very aggressive line that was recommended in John Shaw's book on the on 1E4 various systems. What did he do against the Caracan? And I think he also did the French as well, and some other lines. It was a very interesting book, indeed. I think probably the one weakness you could say is that he really focused on the sharp lines, which were fantastic. There was some really great analysis on there, but unfortunately, there's a lot of very dull and stodgy lines in here, and these are actually kind of decent. So Queen A5 check, very typical idea from Black, just to play Queen A6 here and just try an exchange of queens. It's actually this is a maneuver that was I think first played, or at least it first got general notice when Capablanca played it against the very strong English amateur H.E. Atkins, and won a lovely ending. And this book is actually in one of Irving Chernev's books on Capablanca's games. You must have got, maybe you've seen that book, Natasha. Irving Chernev's, you know, the 62 most instructive games of chess ever played.
I've read that. Yes, I read that. I used to read that a lot as a kid. Yeah,
yeah.
I really like that book.
He did a lot of great books, you know, and I think this game might even have been in there. But yeah, you can play C4 now, but somehow, yeah, I've tried this and it's not. I don't know. I never really seem to make anything of it with white. I remember I had a simul. we played a simul once it was for Carl Portman.
Banbury.
In Banbury, yeah, and I ended up playing because we did a tandem simul, but I ended up playing two very strong players on their own, Marcus Harvey and somebody else as well. Who's I do apologise, I forget the name, but both I am.
Was it Ravi Harrier?
Sorry.
Was it Ravi?
No, it wasn't Ravi. It wasn't Ravi. It was someone else. Really apologise. That's but you know, both IM strength players basically. Yeah. And I had this against Marcus, and I didn't really have the feeling I was getting anywhere at all, you know, with white. So Bishop B4 is a subtlety. Shows that Black knows his stuff, because one of White's main ideas is to move the queen off to C3. Just to unpin and then play B4 afterwards. So Bishop B4 gets in the way of that. So castles, knight H6, rook D1, and now Black took on D2, which is not certainly not silly at all. And now a slightly mysterious run of moves here. Queen takes D2. So Black doesn't play. White doesn't play knight takes D2 here to protect the C pawn, but just gives it away. And then you would kind of expect, Black to play queen takes C4, just because it keeps the pawn chain intact. But Black here played D takes C4, maybe trying to get the D5 square for the knight. Yeah. And White's played queen C3, and Black's played knight F9. I mean, yeah. I mean, White has some compensation for the pawn. I mean, I think maybe White's thinking here of playing B3 here, CB3, AB3, because the queen's protecting the rook on a1, and then play bishop a3. I mean, white's got compensation because the black dark squares are weak, and we might be able to bring a knight round into g5, e4. Could be dangerous, but yeah, I wouldn't have thought that black. Yeah, is black worse? I wouldn't have thought black was worse. I would have thought that black was, should be able to claim with right that his position is solid. But maybe it's easier for white to play somehow. I think we'll do something like b3, assuming you take. I'd take queen b6, bishop a3. Maybe stop the king from castling. Knight g5. We just give away this pawn and then come into e4. And yeah, we're just claiming that that we've got some attack there. Who knows? All right, let's have a look at some more games here. We've got Amir Abbas.
Yeah.
Observe whack. You know what that is, don't you, Natasha?
I do, yes.
That's TCC. So
the game's over.
Yeah, 100-game match. Leela's just pulled a win back there. So great applause from the crowd. So d4, d5, London system, and quite a solid system here. Bishop d6, bishop g3. This is how they do it nowadays. You sort of 10 black to take on g3, and after hg3, the h7 pawn will be loose. So black plays rook e8, and white takes the opportunity to block e6 to e5 and stick a knight on e5. And after queen c7, f4. We've got this sort of stonewall structure, but instead of having the bishop on c1, it's already on g3. So it can come out to h4. In principle, this is a nice position for. Ooh, that's not a nice move to make, I have to say. Just to move a pawn like this is really going to weaken your king side. I would say really that, at some stage, if ever you want to do anything, then g6 would be more the move. But I mean, bishop h4 is quite tempting here, I have to say, and then come in with queen h5 after. This could be, yeah, black's got to watch out here. It's the sort of thing that can go wrong quite quickly if you don't know it well.
So Ben Hammond is one of our junior players. I think we saw him play in the Glawny Cup the other day.
Okay. Oh, bishop h4 played. There we are. Top guesser. Observing the slippery penguin.
Aha.
Jake Cranston. What is this? Your first feeling is that white is better here. Why is that? Good knight on c4. Pawn on a5, rook on b1, preventing black from going b5. So that means then that the b pawn's a little bit tied down, and rook on rook takes, the rook's protecting the b pawn rather than supporting it to move forwards, if you see what I mean. The knight is on c6, tied a little bit to the pawn on d4. So black's just a little bit constricted, actually. So yeah, this is probably decent. I mean, I would be looking with black, I suppose, for a move like bishop e8, rook d5, just to try and activate the rook, attack the pawn on a5, and let white prove, what he's got. And actually, looking at that, I think that's probably reasonably decent for black. Maybe white goes rook b2, rook a1, but oh yeah, white goes rook b2, rook a1. Interesting. I don't know. Anyway, after h6, I would most likely just go h4 in this position. That would be my natural instinct, just to stop g5, because I think one of the things that white might well do is just start gaining some space on the king side at some stage. So you've got space on the queen side, so start gaining space on the king side, and this knight could easily come round d2 into e4, for example. Yeah. And then I could play pawns on f4, g4, h5. It's. I think this is a position. I'm not 100% sure how bad it is objectively for black, but it is one that could go wrong quite quickly, because I think it's black's got some difficult decisions to make in the coming moves. So
that knight might get into c5, I suppose.
Yeah, c5 or d6. So let's have a look. Frederick the Mate.
Freddie Gordon, who is another one born in 2010, another youngster.
So, pardon me, this was a very topical line of the Petrov. Bishop e3 is slightly unusual, I think. You normally just go bishop.
Is this the sacrifice people are playing? No.
No. It's not the Stamford Gambit. That's for black. But it's bishop e3 normally, and then queen d2 castles. Looks very crude, but turns out to be quite dangerous. Bishop d3 is, in principle, not what you should be doing, really. But bishop g4 is a little bit strange, I think. d5, castles. Wow. So, yeah, many things white could do here. Chooses bishop f5.
Don't be hating on the Stafford Gambit.
It's I don't know very much about it at all, but I just saw that that it's kind of
it's good for white if you just put your rook on f1 or something.
It's
just don't castle into it. That's what I've heard.
Takes queen f6. Yeah, I mean white's a pawn up, but black is well, you know, white's got some weaknesses here, so it's not going to be trivial, you know, to put it away. I suppose. I mean, there's one move, knight e7 looks quite tempting there. Knight e7, but I think here you can probably go bishop takes h7, king takes, and queen e4 check. Then queen g6 is necessary, and then you can go queen e7. I'm not 100% sure whether this is an improvement for white. But probably, I guess. I mean, I can go rook f7 here. Oh no, I can't. Yes, I can. Queen h1. I've got rook d1. Haha.
Yeah.
Queen d5 obviously is just a mate. And yeah, if you go rook f7, I go queen f7, and I'm covering my d5 pawn. So I don't know. I mean, this feels like this should be too risky. So I'm not quite sure what black should do here. Got to be wary with all these discovered attacks there. But if I could do it anyway, I would go rook d8 and just try and start off by exchanging off the rooks, and then see what happens. But white definitely in the driving seat there. Frederick the Mate. Black has actually gone rook d8 there.
We haven't seen anyone play the Stafford Gambit, have we, in this tournament? I thought it was like really the hot thing, and all the kids played it. But I thought
it was very popular with juniors. Indeed,
that's the Stafford juniors. Yeah,
that's what I've heard. But our English juniors are too serious for this. So Lavrenti 1 playing against Dinin 6. We're getting now to the players on 2.5 who basically really need a win, you know. So this is an interesting Grunfeld line. Did Lawrence play h4? He did indeed. So d4, knight f6, c4, g6, knight c3, d5, knight f3, bishop g7, and now h4. Which is yeah, you'd like to say an alpha zero line, but actually it's a line that's been known for quite a long time, but has become very, very popular as h4 ideas have increased in popularity. c6 very solid, though always feels a bit wrong to me. You know, I mean, it's a little bit of a if you force a Grunfeld player to do this, really, then you're generally happy, you know, because instead of him hitting away with c5 at your center, you just move one of your rook's pawns, and all of a sudden he's playing passively, you know. So I don't like this move very much for black. But c takes d5. Oh, ouch.
We're going to have to show Simon Brown what is the Stafford Gambit in a moment.
Yeah, it's oh yes, the Petrov, isn't it? So bishop f4, knight c6, e3, castles, queen b3. So not a bad move from white there. At least a challenging move, you know, attacking d5. So h5 might be coming in soon, and also stopping the bishop from developing because of, or at least making black think twice about it. Knight a5, queen a3, knight c6 played by black, and then knight e5. And I suppose we're claiming that this queen on a3, cutting across the black position a bit. Knight h5 played, and now white took rook e8 and bishop e2. And yeah, I mean, this is probably a pleasant edge for white. You know, I mean, this pawn on h4 looks a little bit odd, but but we can probably live with that. And yeah, we've created a backward c pawn, a nice little square on c5. This bishop is very strong, cutting across, preventing rook b8. So yeah, black's going to need to have to do quite well to find some good counterplay. e5 is the idea. So I suppose the idea is if bishop h5, black will take on d4. But yeah, I mean, after e5, we can take on e5 with a bishop. Bishop takes, rook takes, and then well, I mean, we've swapped off the dark squared bishops. Just a question of trying to keep control of black's initial counterplay. And if we manage that, then we're doing very well, you know. So quite a tense, thrilling game, I think, you know, in the offing here. And I think the game's going to be decided over the next few moves. You know, the general shape of the game. Let's have a look. It was observe the Cypriot. Bit. Oh, is he there? My screen. Oh, I placed my screen badly there. There we are. It's just behind my webcam. So we've got some sort of Dutch here. White played not the most critical, looks like. E3 and then G3. In principle, not really.
Oh. Yeah, some people just go like H5 against this stuff, don't they? H4, H5 for white. They
do. Although normally not when you play C4. You know, it's normally without C4. But yeah, slightly strange. I mean, normally when you play these B3 systems, you put the knight, you have a knight on E2 as well. So this is a slightly strange combination here. E5, yeah, black. Why didn't take on E5 at any moment? I mean, I think here. Oops, good lord. Probably knight E5, queen A5 is going to pick up a piece with a little fork there. And I guess that queen D8, rook D8, knight E5. We just go knight G4, and well, we're winning something back anyway. So bishop A3 was played. Queen D1, rook takes D1, rook E8, rook D2, and now black took the opportunity to go here and here. And yeah, in principle, black's actually doing quite well here. You know, the pawn chain on E4 really restricts the bishop here, and we've got a knight coming into E5, which can aim for the nice square D3. Yeah, we're just going to try. Only problem for black is trying to get this bishop on C8 developed so that the rook can come into play. You know, if you play bishop E7 at the moment, white's got good control of the D file, but maybe going knight E5 to D3 can help with that problem. So in principle, yeah, you know, I mean, bishop F8 is another idea. You know, just to swap off the bishops, and then afterwards you can play the knight into C5. You know, so this is quite pleasant for black. You know, I think black's had a Black has had a good opening there, basically.
Okay, so that's Lekos looking good.
Ferrari fan.
Okay.
Let's have a look behind my screen there. A pawn seems to be missing.
Missing?
Indeed. Missing in action. Bishop d2. What a move. A strange move. Bishop d2. I have never seen bishop d2. Wait a minute. Let me just check. I have never, ever in my life seen bishop d2.
Oh. Do you think it's a misclick?
Could be. He might have intended bishop e3, actually. That's a possible. Oh, it's been played. It's been played by Zoe Varney, I see.
Ah, cool.
Horsey chess, but in general, not by any world-class players.
She's a world-class player.
No, I don't.
Always playing in international events.
No, I don't mean it like that. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Somehow, it's also been played by Luke McShane's father, Rod McShane.
Father. Oh yes, brilliant.
So there we are. Always amazing what you can find in there. But no, I mean, they've been experimenting with all sorts of weird 6 moves against various systems, especially the Najdorf. And 6 bishop d2 against the Najdorf was tried by one of the Van Forees brothers, Lucas, who got some success with it. But I've never seen it here. This might be a misclick.
I think it's a misclick. He probably wanted bishop e3.
Yeah, because bishop e3 is the main line there. But okay. I mean, if you wanted to, you could try and turn it into something grand with queen f3 and just say, well, this was just a brilliant novelty, and I was going to castle queenside anyway. But white plays a bit safer here, and we got quite a safe little, reasonably symmetrical position. In principle, black's got no problems whatsoever.
It doesn't matter that much, does it? The bishop on d2. What's the effect?
It just makes it's a bit of a wasted move in a way. So it means that you're not going to be able to get at black straight away. You've got to play a quiet game, but it doesn't. It's not a disastrous move in any way.
Yeah.
I mean, black played very ambitiously here with c4. Yeah, probably before doing stuff like that, I would always go h6, I think, just to be sure you can't go bishop g5.
Oh, he's played it to e3 now. I bet it was a misclick.
Didn't do that. h6 played it, bishop g2. But now an unfortunate mistake from black, because black played bishop c5, and now white went bishop h6. Explains the missing pawn, because obviously gh, there's queen f6. Queen c8 played, bishop g5, bishop e7, king h2. Ooh, and bishop g4. What a tactic.
So now what's going on here? Bishop g4. What if we take it? Then takes, and the bishop goes on g5.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, we've got a couple of ideas here. Or king g1, because I mean, queen g4 would have been definitely worth more than a slight look, because it's 3 pieces for the queen, which doesn't look at all bad to me, I have to say. But it could well be that there's something else wrong with this. King g1, bishop g5, because it could well be that you've got bishop h3 here now.
Oh, yes. Yes, that's a scary pin. So f5, you just take it.
Yeah, f5, I just take here. And, well, I mean, you're not, well, it's not terminal, but it is lost, this, I mean, white's just so much better now. Weak light squares everywhere. So it looks like this lovely little spot of a combination, it's gonna end up biting black, in actual fact. So looking very good there for Ferrari fan.
Yeah.
I'm not sure whether I've got any more space for another. Let me just check behind my screen there. Let's take that one. I'll just take the analysis boards off. There we are. So I should have a bit more space now for a few more players. Isaac Oliver against Oliver Stubbs. Or Oliver Isaac, I think. Yeah, Oliver Isaac, sorry.
The Battle of the Olivers.
Indeed. So look, we got that. We certainly have. Against Unagi. What was this? This was a 1b3, very popular nowadays. I would like to say because of all the Blitz games I played with it, but it's not due to me. It's due to Adiban, the Indian Grandmaster, who's done a chessable course about it and publicized it wildly on social media.
Yes, he won a game in 8 moves, didn't he?
He certainly did. Against David Navarra, 27-40.
Big Uva wants Oliver to win. I think Oliver will. Unless they draw. It would be silly to draw, though, because then I think that doesn't help either of their qualification chances.
No, I don't think so. Yeah. What's happening here? Yeah, I mean, the whole struggle is going to be about White getting this knight on g3 active. So, I mean, or maybe first we could just go knight e4 here. Maybe this one first is best. Takes. You go knight here, maybe looking for knight d6. Takes. And then if bishop f5. A slightly irritating move, always. Bishop f3 isn't that exciting. I should probably try and be a bit more creative here. Got to watch out because e5 to e4 is also coming in. You know, just to stop the knight from moving to e4, and then h4 will be dangerous. Takes bishop f5. I mean, the more I'm looking at it, the more I'm thinking, you know, black's just fine here. You know, there's no there's not any white advantage there really. So yeah, you know, I think
it's like a King's Indian attack the other way around, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's one of those openings where, you know, basically black's playing white. You know, so yeah, I mean, that's looking pretty good, really. Now let's have a look. I think I've kind of got to the max of my the number of things I can watch. So I mean, let's take those games in principle as the baseline, and then we'll as games finish, we'll replace them with others. Oh, a nut flush against Dionysus. This one's finished.
That's finished, yeah.
We can have a look at one more, which is Simon Smith against Jude Cheersby.
Oh, that's Woldsby. Yeah, Woldsman.
Woldsman. Oh, we saw Woldsman yesterday in an incredible game. He lost, unfortunately, but it was a quite amazing game. Behind my screen, there we are. Queens and pawns, Jude Cheersby. So, Principal Black seems to be doing quite decently here. Got this move c5 in. Yeah. Queenside reasonably mobile. You could take on d4. You could consider c4 in some ways as well. So, yeah, maybe go rook c8 next move. You know, it should be, looks like Black's got a pretty decent position here. So, quite balanced, basically. All right, let's have a look at Peshka the Great.
Oh, I was just checking in on Whimsical Jam as well.
All right.
And he's put his rook up to the 4th, and it's sort of quite exciting. They've both gone queenside.
See whether we can get Whimsical Jam in there. Here we can. Back. There we are. Oh, right. Okay, against Hugo Fowler. So how did this go? This was a Scotch. One of these lines where you just go queen e2 and then you castle queenside. g3. It's going to play bishop g2. Just get a bit of control over d5. Principle quite pleasant for white here. Bishop b3 may be a slightly strange move, but Bishop b5 was a nice one. Knight can't move from c6 because a7 is hanging. So that enables Whimsical Jam to double up the c-pawns and then bring the rook on the fourth file. c6, f4, and d5, and it's all happening. So black's threatening d4 here. And we've got to work out a little bit.
Yeah, because we can't take on d5. It's all
that
pinned.
would not be recommendable, no.
Not recommended at all. So we'll have to drop back, won't we? Like maybe, what, like queen e2, but then we lose the e-pawn.
Yeah, I was wondering whether I could go something like e5 and then after d4 move my queen away. But it's not very clear. Queen f3, dc. Not very clear at all. Yeah, d4 is a bit of an annoying, definitely an annoying resource, this. This doesn't feel right, really. It feels like white should just have something quite reasonable here.
Yeah, when I first saw this position, I thought it was good for white, but now I'm not sure. So you're thinking e5 and then move the queen, so you're hitting this knight.
Yeah, but it's not. Doesn't look that great, really. I mean, take there, for example. Take there, could take check. Queen f6. I don't know. That's just not really what I want.
No.
So I wonder whether f4 was maybe was maybe you know, a move that just really came at the wrong moment there. I wonder. Because of course it loosens the queen. You don't have any more queen f4 checks and stuff. So it's possibly just you know, a good general move, but just at the wrong time. I mean, there's no way I can just sack this knight and then get some
crazy attack going.
Big attack somehow. Ooh, pardon me. I don't see it really.
Okay, tricky.
Yeah, and I mean d4 is coming in followed by queen e4, so I think this might just have got a bit tricky, quite unexpectedly for white. But we'll keep an eye on that throughout. So this is Peshka the Great, Hichin Yan against, or Hichin Han. No, I can get his name wrong now. Against Gerasimos Giakos. So e takes d5 has been played. So normally white's got some big concrete idea against this, but this is just looking to exchange off the bishops. But there is quite a bit of pressure on the black center there. So I mean, white's threatening to go bishop a7, followed by knight takes e5. Part of me wonders whether this move b6 is possible, but I'm too ashamed to even admit that I considered it. Oh, Leo Keeley against Drunken Knight.
What's happening?
Yes, Drunken Knight won. Sorry, it was the wrong one, but yeah. So Drunken Knight looks like he's going to progress into.
So Chris Duncan is qualified, which I guess is it's not a surprise because he's a very good player.
Yeah,
so before the tournament starts, you would expect him to qualify, I think.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what white did actually, because after bishop takes c3, there is simply b takes c3. But I think black had white had a complete hallucination there. It went bishop d2, and then black was just a piece up.
Don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can just take back on c3. I mean, it's perfectly fine, but Yeah, I think something went wrong there. Either white had a hallucination or a misclick or something like that. But we're hard luck, Leo. Well played, Chris. And Chris is going to be on 4 points, isn't he?
Yeah, let's see. Duncan will be on 4. Yes.
Okay, so Peshka the Great has swapped off the dark squared bishops here. And yeah, I mean, this is more tricky than you'd think at first sight. Big problem is that white's got quite a bit of pressure on d5, e5, as well as b7. And rook e1 is going to happen next, just hitting the e5 pawn. And it's not so easy to defend both this one and also the b7 pawn. And in any case, whatever you do, it's going to cost you some calculation. Maybe you can just go rook e6 here. So I go rook e1, and then I go rook e6, rook e1, rook e8. Because if you go queen b7, then I go rook b8. And if you go queen a6, then I go rook here. And then here, and your queen is trapped. So if I can do this, I can just defend the e5 pawn in this way. Then this shouldn't be too bad at all for black. Because next move you'll go b6, your b pawn is protected. So in principle, I think that rook e6 feels like the move you want to play here. Unless white's got something clever, like d4 and knight e5 or something like that, then black will just be fine, I think.
So, Gerasimos is from Swansea University.
Okay.
I don't think I've played him before. I don't know him at all. I'm going to say that I probably have played. I'm terrible with my memory. But do you know him?
No, I don't know him at all. Don't know him at all.
Yeah. So he's Swansea.
Okay.
Nice.
The next game is Arjun Kulani against Harry Grieve. And what's happened here? Well, we got this situation where white's taken the knight off on f6. We got these opposite color bishops. I mean, black's got a lot of freedom, you know, very free pieces, but white's extremely solid here. So not going to be easy for black to really create a lot of play here, you know. So in principle, you know, a very sensible and restrained way of playing against a stronger opponent, basically. Just thinking what's natural for white. I mean, maybe a move like rook e5, just trying to double up on the d file. Because if you go after rook e5, if I do something like knight d4, then I can just take on here, and you know, that's going to be a pawn, which is never such bad news. And you know, after rook e5, I'm going to go rook e8, and there could be some nasty pin on here. And I get the chance to go rook g5, maybe harass the queen. You know, or if the knight moves away, I maybe get bishop f4. So yeah, I mean, this feels like the most natural thing to do. I don't know how much it is really, or whether it's really anything at all, but black's a little bit more active there. You know, so yeah, we'll see how that all develops. Jonathan Payne against Rock Troll.
Okay.
So yeah, so in actual fact, Rock Troll didn't take the bishop pair with a knight check, as we saw before, but just they've later exchanged off light squared bishops. What is this position? Not very clear. I mean, white's obviously more active. You know, white's got some play in there, but I don't know whether it's serious for black. Black is very solid here, and of course tying this yeah, the rook and the bishop here to the defense.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose, you know, the sort of things you'll you'll start wondering about a moves like G4 for white. It's not quite clear what black is doing. I mean, maybe you should just go queen G6, chase the queen away or something. Actually, come to think of it, C4 looks like an interesting move here. Now, where did that queen come from? I think it was on E2, yeah. So definitely C4 is an interesting move. Because, if you go D4, I take, and I've got queen E4.
Yeah.
And what it means basically,
it's check.
You're going to ruin white's pawn structure, which is quite good news, really. I think. So C4 looks natural. I don't think there's any sacrifices over here at all. I mean, you could think about moves like this, but I could even take simply and go queen E4 check and then come back somehow. I mean that's going to be good. C4 would be my thought there. Rock Troll spent a lot of time, quite a bit behind Jonathan Payne there. So Checkmate Lot did play B3, but black played knight D7. And now the exchange of queens happened, which is interesting. Maybe it'd be necessarily the first thing I thought of. C5. I mean, I think black's playing this very well, actually. I think black's, if anything, black's slightly better here. Just going to be a lot of weak pawns here in white's position. So probably slightly easier for black to play than for white. So what can happen in this variation? It's just not. Amir Abbas is a piece up.
Oh,
we thought that black might have some difficulties in this. In this sort of stonewall structure. Let's have a look what happened. Yeah, I think this is the moves we said actually. Takes, castles, and actually black got black sort of panicked here. But actually, how on earth do you defend F7? Actually, that is a very good question. Because he's taken with the wrong knight, really. He should have taken with the D7 knight. So actually F7 is almost impossible to defend here. So black sacrificed a piece here. But obviously after here, white's just a piece up with good pieces. So that's not going to take too long, I think. So looks like Amir Abbas is making a good score there.
Through, okay. Well done him.
Edison Zhu against Jay Cranston. We saw this one. We said it was quite interesting. H6. I'd said go H4, but white went rook B5 and rook B1. Very direct, but maybe better than what I suggested. F6. We used the mobility of this rook on the 5th rank very nicely. Rook B5 and knight FD2. I mean, this knight can be coming around to E4 or and then C5, for example. We've been tempted somewhere to play F5 actually and just shut this rook off on the king side. But black played B5 and then takes and rook B5. The rook comes back and the B pawn is gone. Rook HG8, F4, good move, taking away E5 from the knight. Bishop B8, King F2. F7, knight BC4, rook 8, rook B7 check, knight E7. Yeah, I mean, white is really white is very strongly in control here. Knight B3, for example, would be a very strong move. It's going to be very hard to defend the D4 pawn. And knight E4 could also be very strong with the threat of knight D6 check. This knight to E4, the threat of knight D6 check. And I like knight B3, simply, just going to pick up the D4 pawn, but it's just a matter of taste, really. So looking very good for the slippery penguin.
Yes.
Frederick the Mate is now, we saw he won a pawn early in the opening. He's now a piece up here. So Epic Chess has got it all to do, really, because this looks to be completely winning for white here. Okay, this was quite an interesting one.
Was Epic Chess the one who did those 2 sacrifices yesterday? Can you remember who it was? Against, I can work it out actually. It was against
Waltman. It was no, it wasn't. It was who was it again? It was Wasn't it Lawrence Spencer Lawrence who did that?
Was it? And they've already drawn. Is that right? No.
So bishop e2, e5 was played, and yeah, I was
Yes,
kind of expecting to take on e5 actually, but wow, both sides going for it here. Castles, it takes, and black took a very hot pawn, and then took another one. So 2 pawns up here, and then white ruining the black. I mean, queen f5 check is possible, followed by queen takes h5. That might have been more sensible, actually. But gh5, rook f1, didn't take the pawn on g2. And now bishop e5. So black's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 pawns up. White's got some chances, you know, with the weakened black king side. I mean, really, you know, the move that really screams out at me is just to do this one, really. Rook takes e5. And, you know, after d takes e5, bishop e5, we've got the 2 bishops. We put the bishop on e6, the rook on b8, and it looks virtually winning for black. So that's the sort of thing that screams out of me, really, in this position. You know, just 2 bishops and 3 pawns for the exchange. So yeah, I mean, I think yeah, white in a little bit of trouble here, really. But black played a very sensible move, actually, maybe even more sensible than mine. He played queen e7, looking to swap off the queens there. So yeah, some problems there for top seed Lawrence Webb there, or second seed, I think, Lawrence Webb. Shavs against the Cypriot. Yeah, we've got this interesting. White went f4 here, and black didn't go e takes f3, which is normally the move you'd expect, but played knight g4. And now knight c2, bishop e6. I get the feeling this is, well, no, probably still more comfortable for black, because this bishop is rather passive and this queen side is rather weak. And we'll just go back to f6 here. And if this knight ever moves away, there's knight c5. So I probably still, you know, slightly prefer to be black here, but it's starting to get a little bit, you know, towards equal, really, you know, and that you won't be able to do very much, really. So, yeah, probably bishop f1 will be a good move somewhere as well. So, going to be a tough one, this one.
Could be a long game.
Fan. Yeah, that's right. Ferrari fan. He did exactly, his idea exactly was what we eventually spotted. King h2, a slightly strange move. Queen c5, king g2, again slightly strange, but doesn't ruin anything. c3, b4, queen c7, rook d3. I mean, white's in complete control here, really. Play bishop c1, f6, queen f7, slightly strange moves here. Rook takes c3 now, played. But I guess that's pretty good. I mean, if you go queen f6, I'll just go rook c7. And, you know, with all those dangerous light squares, basically, yeah, I mean, this must be hopeless for black. So looking pretty good for Ferrari fan.
Yeah. Opposite bishops, and he's attacking.
Indeed. Oh, Oliver Stubbs has clearly read Game Changer.
Okay.
Look at that. And the rook's pawn is going all the way down there. All the way to h3. So, yeah, black's just a little bit better here. And this move h3 is very nice. Yeah, g takes h3. But now black's always got this target. So just retreat to e6. And then your knight will come to h5. And this should be quite pleasant for black, I think. I think the only thing that white could do maybe is go f4 and try and create some quick counterplay. But that would make it reasonably unclear. But still, quite like what black's done. It's definitely good for unbalancing the play. And white offered the draw, actually, which is very strange. And black refused it, as you'd expect. So, Whimsical Jam.
Yes.
Yeah.
What did he do?
Yeah, I thought about this too, actually. He went f5, d4, queen f4 check, king a8, knight d1. So I think the idea here, very clever, is that if queen e4, then there was queen c7. That was
nasty.
But so that actually saves the pawn somehow. So black went rook e8, knight f2, queen e5. But knight d3, right?
Tripled major pieces on the e file. But yeah, 93 looks nice, huh?
So 93 is pretty good. Now I guess that white's going to play e5.
Winning the exchange?
Well, not really, because e1 is hanging. But the pawn's fairly safe on there. So that is pretty interesting.
So, okay, so what, the queen, black... Oh, the black queen doesn't have to drop back at all because it's going to be mate as well.
Sorry?
No, the black queen does have to move.
It does, yeah. So maybe something like queen d5. We could go rook a5, maybe. I was thinking knight d7, then just king b1, just to get out of the way there.
Yeah.
Do these tactics work? A little bit mysterious, this one. Rook c5, knight d3.
You're right. So take the rook. Queen. Take the queen. Take the queen.
Now, then I go takes here.
Yeah. And then b4, knight b4.
That's not good. I'm throwing rook
It
a1.
Doesn't work. Yeah.
No. So a minute. The alternative is to go rook e7. I go queen h1 check. King a2. It's not mate, is it? I was looking at knight b4, king a3. Well, can I do it better? Several ideas. I mean, queen a1 takes, rook b8 check, king c4 does not seem to be mate, as far as I can tell.
We're not getting mated ourselves. Oh, yeah.
Sure. Queen f1 takes, rook d8. Still some danger, but I think it looks like you're getting safe there. Now, the only thing I wondered about was I could go rook e7 here, of course. I mean that is possible, but it doesn't look. It's not super. If I go knight b4, if I took on here first, doesn't make any difference, but it does get me an extra. But I was vaguely hoping for some rook b4 and winning the queen at some stage, but it doesn't seem to be possible. What I could do, though, I could go queen
a6.
I mean, if you go to e3, I go queen d3 check and take on c2, which feels like the way to go. What I was wondering about was, could I go king e5?
f6.
Yeah, f6. I'm just going to go king f4. This is the idea. Rook d4 check, rook e4. It's somewhat extraordinary. Queen d3 maybe could be dangerous.
Do we have queen f1 at the end?
Could he be? Don't I have king g4? I might all be wrong. Queen f1, yes, okay. King g4, we got rook d4. Yeah, this is the one. This is the one. Have a look then. What have we done for beautiful there?
So, Simon and Percy, Guitar Man, they're all saying rook d5 check, but I now don't know exactly which position.
Let's have a look. Rook c5, knight d3, rook e7. Oh, okay. Rook e7, queen h1 check, king there, knight b4. King a3, knight takes c2. Rook takes c2, queen a1 check, king b4, rook b8 check. King c4, queen a6 check. No, I'm not sure actually. I'm not sure where rook d5 check comes in.
Oh, instead of f6.
Oh, rook d5 check. King f4, queen f1, and queen f5. Yeah, that's correct. That's correct as well. Well done, guys. Well spotted.
Checkmate a lot says he's fallen for a trap.
But he's won.
Yeah, I don't know who the he is, whether that's Checkmate a lot's opponent or whether it's in this game we're looking at.
Yeah, no, I think yeah. What happened to checkmate? Oh, d5. Wow.
Opponent. Checkmate a lot's opponent fell for trap. Oh, you're gonna bishop f4, are you, at the end?
F4 after, and well, wow, nice one. Because I thought I was thinking maybe White was getting into trouble here, but d5 was a very nice resource.
So that should mean you're through then, Checkmate a lot, is it? Let me just see how many points you have now. Peter Finn, 3. Oh yes, 4. Yes, you're comfortably through.
Maybe
Congratulations.
Maybe taking with a knight was a bit better. Maybe this was a little bit more a better defense. At least you gain a tempo on this rook, basically. So in rook c1, maybe you can just go b6 and then king b7. I'm guessing that would have been a better defense, but well played, checkmate a lot. Brilliant. Qualified. Way. Where were we? Where were we down to?
We were at Whimsical Jam just now.
Oh yeah, okay. Then I think that was the bottom one. Okay, let's go back to Pesca the Great. Pesca the Great. Equal. Black has played very solidly here. So Black played rook e7. Okay, I thought rook e6 was nicer, but anyway, Black's basic idea. Black spotted this b7 pawn wasn't weak. Knight e4 was played b6, e4. Quite a nice attempt, but it just led to all sorts of exchanges there. Here and king f7, and yeah, I mean, really, this must just be a draw. There is very little that either side can do here. I'm sure, yeah, Pesca the Great declined a draw. He's quite a bit ahead on time, and he's a stronger player by a couple of 100 points. But it's going to be a toughie. Going to be a tough one to make something of this one, of course. Tactics Monster. Okay, so what happened here? Bishop b3, bishop h4. Actually, yeah, I really should have spotted that, shouldn't I? A threat against f2. It takes, and then rook e5 played. So, yeah, it's oh, sorry, bishop g5 wasn't played. Bishop c2, bishop g5, and bishop b3 was somewhat incautious. Yeah. What is this position?
So Harry's, I guess he's going for the e-file rather than some kind of attack against the king straight away.
Yes, indeed. F4. Ooh. In principle, I don't like White's play at all, really. But it doesn't seem to be working out too badly, to be honest. Obviously, if Rook E4, you just go Bishop D5. And if you go to,
you don't like the move F4, is it in particular?
Well, I don't know. It's just White's played this quite passively, given Black the opportunity to exchange off the to cripple White's structure. It feels like White's been giving away a lot somehow. That's just it. But actually, looking at the results, it's not at all bad for White. Black's pieces aren't really quite coordinating in the way that they need to be. So I think White's still fine here. Maybe Bishop C2, just to chase the Rook away. But then maybe Rook F6. There should be a way to be a little bit better here for White, but I would have expected just a little bit more, considering the way Black has played. But I think I'm just, maybe just, being visually influenced by the moves rather than really, assessing them on their actual merits. Okay, let's have a look. Jonathan Payne against Rock Troll.
Oh, let's see that.
That is looking pretty
Rock Troll's
good.
running a bit short of time here now.
Rock Troll is a bit short of time, but in principle, he's not doing badly, I think. Question is Rook E7. How are you going to do this? Rook E7. You've got to be careful because Rook G2 is coming in. But I think maybe we just go Rook F8, actually. And meet Rook G2 with Rook F7. That would be quite sensible.
Why are you picking E7 for the Rook rather than something like A7?
Well, I wanted to stop Knight E6 from happening, or even here, in this case, Rook B7. So, I mean, you could go to C7. That is a more possible one. I was a bit worried that I'd go Knight E6 here, you see, and defend G7.
Yeah.
Thinking about it, you could go Rook E7 there.
He has gone Rook E7.
Oh, he's gone Rook E7, has he?
Yeah.
Okay, but then Rook takes C4 from Rock Troll. That is a very strange move. Rook F8 was, I think, very sensible, and probably certainly not worse for Black. But now there's Rook G2 now. Yeah.
Already, yeah.
Oh, Rock Troll. Oh, he lost yesterday against Peshka the Great, and I think that this is in big danger now. Yeah, I mean, Rook F8 would have just I think solved all of Black's problems and probably left him with a much better position. But this is getting a bit serious, I think. I don't know how you defend against this properly.
Yeah.
Rook H4. Okay, that's as always resourceful from Rock Troll. So he's just creating a bridge basically for his king. So the king's going to be able to go to H8.
I'm sure Jonathan will take on G7. But with which rook?
Yeah, this is not easy, actually. Rook H4 was a very good move, actually. If we take there, I'll just come here. And I mean, I'd love to go something like Bishop G5, go Bishop F6 after, but I've got stuff like Rook check. Well, here I'd have Rook takes B2 as well, maybe. Now king c2, I've got rook h2. So you know, there's quite a lot of counterplay there. So
Interesting. Not all over then.
No. Just rather risky. I think maybe the simplest would be to take and to come here. And then rook h1 check. I can just go king c2, get out of the way, and then just leave black with this danger of the king cut off and rook giving mate. And then we're just going to try and see what we can make of that. I'm not sure whether is white objectively better here. Not 100% clear, but I mean, you've got to keep your knight somewhere in the center, because otherwise bishop g5 to f6 is coming in. I say with not that much time, and with not that much time, and that's what Jonathan Payne has done. And you know, the ever-present danger, I'd say this is quite awkward for black to defend. Yeah. It's a bit of a shame, really, because I said, you know, rook f8 was just, I think, you know, really just neutralizing the white play. And then afterwards, you just take this pawn on e4, you know, and you've got all the advantages of your position, basically. So, yeah, that's okay. As always with Rock Troll, we're going to get a thrilling battle. Rook h3 is sensible, I think, getting out of a potential attack on the rook by the bishop. So, gaining a tempo like that. And
now,
here
the Great has drawn.
Okay, yeah, that was not too surprising. Well played.
And they should both go through. That's fine.
Both through. Yep. No point in playing this one on too far. So Harry's got a slightly better pawn structure here. Opposite color bishops. Small edge for Harry, but yeah, not really that much. But okay.
Okay, so yes, Arjun's got rid of the double pawns now.
Yeah, it's just left with a slightly weakened kingside pawn structure. This rook's quite nice on f4. Yeah, you want to swap off the other rook and then try and get this knight into play somehow. But in principle, this shouldn't be, you know, it really shouldn't be anything at all for black. Black shouldn't be able to make much of this. But we will see. I mean, Abbas carrying on his conversion of an extra piece. Slippery Penguin, 1, 2, 3, 4. Jay Cranston has got a little bit of counterplay there. I think maybe slightly incautious from Slippery Penguin. Got a little knight e5 check somewhere. But just doing a little check just to see where black wants to go. G8 is probably the best line.
I mean, he could just force a draw, couldn't he? And then they both qualify.
That is true, but I mean, rook h7 is definitely a good thing to do here.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, yeah, I think white's just winning.
Okay.
So rook h7 would be the move I'd expect now. But doing a little check, never a bad thing. Frederick the Mate is piece and pawn up. So that looks like it's going to be a win against Epic Chess. What have we got here? Knight d5, last move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Well, simply rook f6, rook takes e5 here. Looks, you know, very strong for black. And it looks as if... yeah, really, black should just win this. Just 2 pawns up in an ending. So, and, you know, virtually no tricks, really, as far as I can see. So, yeah, there's going to be a little bit of a shock there with the second seed losing that one, I think. Shavs against the Patriot. Yeah, pretty complicated. White's done pretty well, really. I think White's definitely made... a good job of this.
Lawrence didn't make the first round. Yeah. Okay.
So Yeah, I mean, I think the only thing you got to watch out for is a rook a8 at some stage, and this knight might be a little bit awkward. It's just sort of the one piece in White's position that's a little bit awkward. But the Cypriot declined a draw there. But I think they're both on 2.5, aren't they?
Let me just check that. Yeah. Cypriot. Yeah, they're both on 2.5, so they do need to play for win.
Yeah, no, it doesn't make any sense there. So Ferrari fan has got a gorgeous position there. Those light squares. Look at those light squares. So that should really just end as a
yes, this looks nice.
A win for a Ferrari fan. Yeah, this is looking very good. 2 bishops, lovely coordination from Black. So maybe at some stage you'll just play b5 or something and start getting some space on the queen side, open some lines, and then come around there. You know, I mean, this is excellent for Black. Black's playing very well there.
You could look at Dingbat 27. I don't think we looked at.
We certainly could. Just have a quick look at Whimsical Jam. Yeah. Wow, that's just gone very messy. How that? Oh, wait a minute. Queen d6, e5. Oh, Black took on there, which was probably not really necessary, I think. g4 from Whimsical Jam. A little bit sharp what Whimsical Jam is doing. But well, actually, yes, I don't really have a clue what's happening here. I mean, maybe a sensible thing I was thinking was f6, for example. To
go with Queen c8 mate.
Queen e3 is also Queen e3 is very sensible now because White's going to play Queen d2 next. So that was undoubtedly the best line. So it looks like Whimsical Jam could well get.
Black's played c5 now, which looks risky to me because that diagonal opens.
Yeah, the Queen a7 check was threatened. So
yeah, okay. You need to do it.
Yeah. Wait a minute, just looking above my monitor there. Close that. Close all those analysis boards. We did have a lot of them. There we are. And now let's just do observe. Who was it?
Dingbat 27.
Yeah, no, White's just winning this, I'm afraid. Exchange
is Yonggi Wang against Steve Key.
Indeed. Yeah. Still, maybe a couple of small difficulties to overcome for White, you know, because but I would say a move like Rook f6 is a very nice move here. Just coming round with Rook f4 and also just protecting the Queen. Everything's protected now, you know, and then yeah, you've even got Rook f7 check threats as well, but Rook f4 is the big threat there. So
White is one of our junior players, another junior player doing really well, born 2007, so about 13, 14 years old.
Okay, fantastic. This looks very strong. The only thing that I'm just thinking about is the idea Rook f6, bishop e4, Rook f4, and then you go d3.
Ooh.
And then if Queen c5, then d takes d2 check. Queen c2, Rook takes d1. But there's various things wrong with that. But I've just seen that McCarthy Stone has beaten Rock Troll there.
Okay.
So it was, yeah, it was kind of, yeah. I mean, I don't know how, you know, good or bad it was, but it was always going to be a tricky one. And
Rock Troll's saying, no,
hard luck, Rock Troll. It was, I mean, Rook takes e7 would still keep Black in the game, although White's, you know, much better there. But yeah, this is always going to be a horrible position to defend with, you know, the rooks and the bishops attacking like this. Hard luck, Rock Troll. Yeah, you had a really good position there, but just I think this taking on e4 with the rook, I think, was the move that really cost it. Hard luck, Rock Troll. That was really really unlucky. It's yeah, the dangerous opponent, Jonathan Payne. So
Oh yeah, he's strong.
and you got him in the thing that he does best, which is attacking.
Otherwise, we think that the qualifying grade will be 3.5, because we think that you take the 12th player and you look at what score they're on, and then everybody on that score gets through. And so we think that will be 3.5. But don't always, as always, check it yourself and don't take our word for it, because I have been known to get these things wrong. But I think 3.5.
So Frederick the Mate has won. He beat Epic Chess quite early. So excellent. And Ferrari Fan has also won this game with the light square bishops. So against Leo the Rex. So we've got a few more qualifiers there.
Checkmate a lot thinks it's the same as what we just said as well. So that's
Checkmate a lot's good. He's reliable on this stuff.
He knows what's what.
So Whimsical Jam, now looking very good for Whimsical Jam. So I think we can expect that Whimsical Jam will win this,
which will take him through if our theory is correct.
If our theory is correct.
Yeah, everyone thinks 3.5 is going to be good.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable, doesn't it? So what have we got here? The Cypriot trying really hard to make something of this position, but I don't think there's much to be done now. I think Cypriot is now a little bit worse. As always, can always happen. You can overcook these things, and Knight A3, Knight B6 is actually just very strong for white now. So it looks like Andy Chavez has got the best chances from this game at the moment to get through. But of course, anything can happen.
Lekos is a little bit short of time, actually.
That is true. Yeah, no, that's true as well. Lawrence, fighting on valiantly, but 3 pawns down now, and also the B2 pawn hanging. So I think this is
Slippery Penguin getting on. Oh, a piece up. No, not a piece up.
No, Slippery Penguin is doing very well. I think the thing is his rook's a little bit trapped on H7 there, funnily enough. But I don't think that Black can really take advantage of it. I think Black will need to release that rook in order to do something, and then it'll be too late. But still some technical difficulties for Slippery Penguin, but looking pretty good in general. Ami Abbas, Black's managed to get some passed pawns, but White should also be very dangerous there. So you would expect this to be a win quite soon as well. Any other people that we haven't seen?
Yeah, I'm just looking up. I'm a pickle.
Sorry?
Just looking up. I'm a pickle.
Right,
yes, I'm a pickle still playing against Ryby. Almost as many E's as Agard's A's. And so these could qualify if one of them wins.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So equal material. Black, it feels like Black's more comfortable, but White does have 3 passed pawns, 3 pawns on the queen side to 1. So I'm slightly doubting that feeling actually. Black to move. I don't think Black's got anything remarkable here.
Couldn't you take on E2 and Bishop D?
I go to E3. I mean, the most sneaky move I'd like to play is Bishop C2.
Going for Knight G2 and Rook D2.
Indeed, because if you go there, then as you pointed out, ruining the effect. We've got this one. Although that would actually be still quite unclear, actually. C6.
Bishop B4.
Rook B8 check. King G7 C7.
Yeah.
Would you have something extraordinary?
No.
Thank you, Natasha. That's what I was wondering about was knight f4, c7, bishop d3. You know, just with the old bishop d3, rook d1, but that's just rubbish, probably. So, yeah, I don't know. I think these pawns are quite dangerous. I think I'd much rather be white in this position, thinking about it. So, I'm a pickle. Probably quite good chances there.
All right, and there's a couple more we haven't seen on that score band. Let me see who's next after I'm a pickle. Is Haranras.
You maybe give me a
Haranras.
Okay, I'll say it again. Haran.
RAS, but it hasn't come up actually when I've just typed it now.
You might be finished then.
Yeah. Oh, there's a few more results just come in now. Actually, it has finished, and white won, and then Adam Siklowski beat Emil Steiners as well.
Okay, yeah, I was just.
And then that's all the ones I think in the qualification zone.
Right. Oh, quite a few results indeed. So, so Amir Abbas.
Oh God, they're saying 12 people can still make 4+ points. Is that right? I thought I'd looked at it earlier, and I thought as long as somebody drew on 3.
Oh, but nobody's drawn on 3 yet.
Okay.
Oh, good Lord.
Okay, we might have been misinforming you all then. Yeah. Okay, and you'd need it depends on board 2 as well, because if I know it doesn't 4.5. Yeah, no. Board 2. If board 2, so for it to be 4, you'd need board 2 to draw, and board 7 and 8 to both be decisive.
Are you sure about that?
No, not at all.
Wouldn't it be the board 2 would have to be because then that's
board
one
decisive. That helps because then one of them's down on 3.5.
Yeah, that's the one that really helps, I think.
Yeah, any one of those 3, I think, can be fine.
Okay.
So you need either one draw out of 7 and 8, or a win on board 2.
Yeah, I mean, Amir Abbas is definitely winning, so I mean that's definitely going to be decisive.
Yeah.
The Slippery Penguin against Jay Cranston.
It's not those ones that matter, though. It's not those. It's the. Oh, sorry. No, apologies. It is. So that needs to be just. We would want it to draw to bring the score down. Yeah,
but I think that Edson Xu is going to win that. I would have thought.
Okay, so we want board 2 to be decisive to get loads of people through.
Okay. Well,
should we check in on that one again then? Board 2.
This is Ian Kalani against Harry Greaves. So Harry was pushing, but now actually he's going to end up, or he's got the risk of ending up a pawn down here.
Gosh.
Because actually, I don't know how you avoid it, because white's just going to go knight takes c4.
Knight c4 is threatened.
And if you go something like, this seemed like an idea to go rook c8, but of course, if you go bishop a7, there's knight f5 check. So I don't think that black can avoid losing a pawn here. And actually, probably this ending is quite unpleasant for black.
Wow, well, Captain Monster's done well then, hasn't he, from that position that was looking...
Yeah, no, he's done very well. He's played very solidly all the way through, and I wasn't really sure about his moves, but he's come out, got to say, the result is the important thing, and he's come out with a very good position there. So, Harry's under a bit of pressure here.
So I'm going to cheer for one player or the other, because I want to see loads of people qualifying.
Well, yes. I mean,
So I'm going to start cheering for white here now.
okay. It's I don't. Yeah. No, yeah.
I know we don't normally take sides. It's only just to let a whole load of people through.
Indeed. We'll have a look. I mean, I would normally expect Harry to be able to save this. He's good defender.
Yeah. So would I. He's very, 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 very strong.
Yeah. So and I think there's quite a few technical difficulties to be overcome really to to keep your pawns really. So it's not at all obvious, but yeah, I mean we will see. We will see how.
No. So we want draws on one of these other two games then.
Yeah, but this is not going to happen, I don't think, because Ami Abbas is nearly queening, and Slippery Penguin. Well, this one.
Slippery Penguin. Let's see Slippery Penguin.
I mean, it's a sort of. It might happen. It's quite a complicated little position, of course.
Yeah.
But I would expect Slippery.
I mean, if you're white, right, you take a draw, don't you? So ensure you qualify, and you've only got 3 minutes left.
Moi, I'm not sure. I don't know. I mean, I think you play c4 as white, and then just queen your c pawn.
I think you just win easily instead. That's another way of doing it.
You are winning. I think you are winning fairly easily. It feels a little bit risky and all that, but I think white is just winning here. So I would really, under those circumstances, you really encourage the opponents to carry on and play. But yeah, I mean we'll see how that goes. But c4 is a good move. I mean, White's played White's played a very nice game actually. It's really praiseworthy. So it'd be lovely if he could finish this off with a good performance there.
Yes.
So I think we just go king c5 here, or king c3 even. Yeah, now somewhere around here we should be getting a fork. Yeah, knight d5 will probably be quite a good fork. Because if king g8, we go knight e7.
Yeah.
So yeah, sort of going to be a bit hard.
Knight e5.
Yeah, rook h8 check. Rook h8 check.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of hard to find a move for black now, and a move like. To be honest, I mean, even rook f7 is now a threat, followed by king b4 to b5. So I think this is just over in actual fact. So I think these two games really on 3, they're all going to be decisive there.
Oh no.
So yeah. So yeah, it's all about whether.
Okay, so it's.
Yeah, but I think that
Arjun against Harry.
Yeah, I do think that Harry's going to save this. To be honest, I think he'll manage to keep this together. He's managed to split the white pawns, which is quite nice. And now the question is, how do you do this? I mean, bishop d2, rook a4, presumably tries to keep the pawns. Bishop c5, rook a4 again, maybe rook b8 afterwards. Something like that. Yeah. Sort of feel that that black should be able to do it, but not an easy task. It's going to be a bit of sweating for black and a bit of good defense there. So yeah, Lawrence looks like black's going to bring home the game here.
Yeah.
Shabs against the Cypriots. This is looking again very difficult for black. Yeah, Unagi won there. Not too surprising. White was very short of time. Whimsical Jam has won. Well played, Whimsical Jam. Dingbat 27. Ooh, we've got a bit of random play here now. Look at this, b4.
Oh.
But I think we go. I think we go queen e3 check. I think that's what we do. And then afterwards we follow up with rook takes d7. I think that'll just be completely winning. Queen d4, probably also very good. Rook d7 afterwards, yeah. So it looks like YW37 is going to win that one. I'm a pickle. Yeah, these pawns have been quite dangerous. This should be winning for white in principle. You know, your pawns are way. Well, yeah, your pawns are way faster. Is that true? I mean, this f pawn is distressing me fast, unfortunately. c6, rook b4, c7, bishop a6, rook d6 probably. If this c7 move works, then that's extremely useful.
Slippery Penguins won.
Okay, Whimsical Jammers won. Well done, Slippery Penguin. That was very good. A very good win, I think.
Yes, well played.
Yeah.
So it's just two crucial games on in terms of what the score is.
That's right. I mean, Abbas is nearly finished and winning, and now we've got. But now I think this is going to be a draw. Now I think rook a8 here now. Oh no, that's not clear. Rook a8. White will go a4. After bishop c5, we'll play rook b5. Very frustrating position for black. You're so close just to proving the draw. We're not quite there, but I think maybe rook e8. Okay, rook a8. I thought maybe rook e8 would be better, just to get behind the pawns. But okay, maybe Harry's got an idea here. a4. And now what?
Oh, bishop c5, you just go rook b5.
Yeah, and then a5 afterwards. So I don't like rook a8 actually. I thought rook e8 was more active. Just I just wanted to go rook here.
Yeah. Really way too bad is saying, please can someone win out of Kalani and Grieve? I know we're cheering for anyone to win here just to get more people through. They're both qualified whatever happens. Is that right? They definitely both qualify if they
yeah.
No, they are both qualified.
Yeah.
Whatever happens. Yes, they are. Yeah. But that still one of them wouldn't give up that. But yeah, well, I don't know. Like all these people on 3, they were all qualified. If they drew, they were both qualified, right? It only needed one draw in that score band for everyone to go through. So you'd have thought at least one of them would have a quick draw. I had just assumed it. But no, they're all decisive.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'd be extremely impressed, if White managed to win this.
Yeah,
obviously even more impressed if Black managed to win it. But yeah, so many decisive results today. It's incredible.
Yeah. I mean, they are both quite short on time, so it could be someone does an inaccuracy.
Rook a5. So threatening bishop c3 there. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what that move knight c7 was, unless White's
He's going for a trick. He wants to go rook b7 and knight e6.
Yeah, black would just play king e6. I mean, you could go rook b5, rook a4, rook g5 check, but that would actually that would be possible. I mean, you could go here. So after rook takes, knight b5 will pick up. Well, it won't pick up, but you sort of wonder that king and pawn ending.
It's just really looking like a draw, isn't it now? Oh dear.
King f3 maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure what Iron will do. He's down to 53 seconds though, so I think Rook B5 would probably be my my expectation. Just because your Rook's a bit tight. Oh, King F3. Okay. Oh, maybe is that better? Yeah, probably better actually.
It's okay. So what if Black goes Bishop C3?
We'll go Rook B5. We'll go Rook B5 then. That's the idea.
Okay.
Which is just yeah, much more elegant way of doing it. Rook F5 check. We've got King E4. Rook F4 check, King D5, and I mean we lose this F2 pawn, but I guess we've transformed our. Okay, now Rook B5 now. Rook B5 now.
Yes, yeah.
It's getting interesting because the king probably has to move to H6. But is that? Yeah, and then we can go maybe something like Rook D5, Rook A3 check. Maybe not so. No, this is probably a good move actually.
Well done, Bandit Slayer. Your first tournament, fantastic.
Brilliant, well done.
First tournament, 3 points, very good.
This is quite tense, but Arjen is used to time pressure. He plays. Whoa. A lot in time pressure. What is that move about? That's a bit of a loose move there, really. Knight D6 is still possible. Bishop C5, Rook B5. But feels a bit... Oh. Maybe Knight D6 really is the idea.
Arjun practically lives in time pressure. Hi, Woldsman. It's very tense here because we want this game to be decisive. One way or the other. We don't mind who wins. We just want it to be decisive. And that's because we want more players to qualify.
Yeah, it's quite amazing that nobody took a draw or nobody drew even.
Because it does guarantee it. Even if one lot of them drew.
Yeah, but I think
both the players go through.
But looking at the pairings, the rating differences were quite large.
Yeah.
On 3 points, it was really a couple of 100 points each time. So
okay.
But I think Harry is definitely. Knight B7. That's the idea.
Okay, forcing away that rook.
But this is not good. I think we'll go G4 check now with, or even Rook E5 with Black. I mean, White's actually got to be careful here. Because that bishop can be very dangerous.
Yeah. Well, I don't mind if Black wins. That's fine.
Nah, but
I just changed sides at a moment's notice.
Yeah. I think White might just end up playing Rook A6. That's a bit passive. C5 now. C5
now, yeah. Okay.
C5 is strong. C5 is strong. That was a bad move. That was a bad move from Black there. That was a really bad move.
Check.
I think we should just go King G2 now. Probably.
King G2. Not take that because that keeps their pawns together. So yeah.
I think FG now, yeah. And the problem is Black's going to get. Oh, well, no. Okay, King G2. Probably it's fine. I'm sorry, I'm getting overexcited here. King G2 is this is problems for Black.
Black could go Rook F6.
No, it's Rook takes D4.
Oh, yeah.
So Black's in big trouble here because we go Rook B6 now.
Rook B6. And then if Rook takes A4, we just queen our C pawn, do we?
I think we're going C6 then.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that's quite dangerous. A5 probably better.
A5. Oh, this is exciting. So, Rook B6 threatened.
King F5. Okay, we go Rook B6 now. Yeah, Rook B6. Rook A8.
And then what? Knight D6 because it's check. Oh, what about just C6?
Yeah, bishop e5, I suppose you'll do, won't you? But feels decent. Yeah, we're going to get counterplay now afterwards with h4 and h3. So this is incredibly exciting, this ending. And bishop e5, I was thinking rook b5, but you probably just go king e6 and just how do you do this? a6 h4. It's going to be, your king's going to be really restricted there. You know, it's a little bit. Rook b5, I think, is a very sensible move. But yeah, I mean, king e6 would be is one idea, but maybe knight c5.
You could go a6, and they can't take it because you get a fork.
Sorry.
You could go a6 then.
Yeah, you can do that. Your pawn's already protected, so I don't know whether that's
it's progress or not.
That's progress. Ooh, that's risky. My goodness me. That is really risky. You would have thought that.
You're looking at c7 now.
Yeah, you would have thought really that that's the move. So h3 check, king h1. And then afterwards, we're going king e6. He's going knight d6 check. That's a sensible move. Probably go knight c4 now, I guess. I'm not sure. c7 was possibly winning, but with this sort of time, it's not very easy. So h3.
Oh, king back.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. Are you going to put on f1 or h? I think h1. But it's just that it's just now that bishop goes back to c7. Oh dear me, there's danger now because bishop c7, and then you're threatening rook d8.
Yeah.
I think all of a sudden, I think white's maybe in a bit of trouble here. Bishop f4, slightly strange move in a way. I wanted to keep the rook away from g5. That's what he wanted to do. Not silly. Yeah, knight e3. That's going to be bishop e3, and then we'll have g3 and two enormous passed pawns. Well, knight e3, even just rook d8. I don't know what white does. Rook b1. That is a very sensible move. You can't approach the c pawn with a king, so knight b6 check.
Yeah.
Okay, it's the wrong color bishop for the rook's pawn as well, by the way.
We're both just playing on increments as well, and it's really complicated.
So rook c8, I suppose, would be the move, just to try and pick up the pawn. And then
rook d8, do you say?
c8. And the question is then whether we can maybe just go a6. I think we can just go a6.
I think we would, yeah.
Okay. So we might get a repetition here. Rook b6.
No, not a repetition. That's not what we want.
Rook a8, rook b1.
That's not what we want.
Oh, wait a minute. Or do we have? Oh, wait a minute.
C7 check, can't we?
C7, king d7. What is happening there? I'd maybe go rook b7 if I was white here.
Rook b7, okay.
Yeah,
rook b7 played.
C7, king d7. What on earth is happening there? Is there some way to make this? I don't know. I don't know whether it's possible. I mean, I could have gone c7 check, king d7, rook g6, just to try and get rid of some pawns. That would not have been stupid. But I think, is Harry going to go rook a6 now? He is.
He has.
But isn't c7 really strong now?
Is it? C7's played.
Because rook c6, I've got rook b6. This is going to be decisive.
What about king?
Knight b6 check.
Knight b6 check.
So, yeah, you're going to get your decisive result here, I think.
Oh, good. That's what I want.
Unbelievable. Aryan, what an impressive performance there.
C7, knight b6. Says Wheelie way too bad. C7, rook b6. Arjun. Oh, come on, white. Or black. Okay, piece up now.
Yeah, so you just got to keep your nerve there. But well, knight e3 check now takes g4 is quite nice. We don't even need to rush. I mean, you could also just go king h2.
I'm impressed they're both playing for a win, I have to say.
I go knight e3. Yeah, probably maybe king h2, and then after rook f6, I go knight e3. But this is very safe. So king d6, maybe rook c3, and then king e4. Yeah, this is the way to do it.
Rook c4.
Can tell he's a good blitz player.
Yeah.
Knight takes e4. So king f3.
And then what do you do?
Yeah, I'm wondering about going knight e5 to c6. Actually, that would what I'm wondering about. But I'm not quite sure about it. Okay. Oh, he didn't do it. Okay. So king h2 now. I think is simple. Rook f7. That's another very sensible move from black. Harry putting up a hell of a fight there, but that is very sensible. I think king f3.
Okay, if they trade the pawns, then rook and knight versus rook. That's normally a draw, isn't it?
Yeah.
White's going to try not trade that. White's going to try keep that f2 pawn.
Yeah. So king h2 is, I think, the move you play. And then afterwards, you're going to have to work out how you're going to bring your knight around. It might be a reasonable size.
Twitch thought our audience was swearing when he was talking about losing the f pawn.
No,
they're not. They're not. They're not.
So knight e3 here is the simplest, I think. Just yeah, blocking the path to h3 pawn. It's just completely winning now. Very impressive game from Arjen. I mean, Harry was really trying to win it. Yeah, I mean, big credit to him as well. But very impressive from Arjen with little time here, and it just looks like he's just going to finish it off. So king h3, king g2, or king h3, king g3, probably. All good. And now knight g4.
He's done it, hasn't he? He's done it.
He has absolutely done it.
Game.
No, rock troll. Rook a7 was maybe it was a mouse slip. It's possible. That is possible. Because it was a bit of a strange move, Dionysian. Yeah, it could well be. Could well be that was a mouse slip.
At least Harry gets through as well, whatever happens.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Yeah.
Oh, yes, it should now be a win, right?
Amir Abbas has won as well. So this is really the last.
This is it. This is the important game.
This is the last game, yeah.
Hi, Kingstar.
Hey, Kingstar. So rook e7 now, yeah. This is very good technique, actually, I have to say. Very good technique. And now we go f5. Then bring the king up to f4. King f4 now. Yeah, but very good. Very good. No rook e6.
Oh, you could have gone. Oh, no, you couldn't.
Okay, and now we go yeah, f6, I guess. Or knight e5 is another very good move. Plenty of time now for white, so yeah.
Yeah. I think the knight was pinned, Coco. Yeah, I certainly thought that too.
So rook e7 check, probably the simplest. That rook e1. Yeah, this is good. This is very good. Very safe technique. Not all right. Yeah, you can do really what you want here. King f5 is a very good move. Yeah, excellent.
I'm just going to see how many people this affects. This will affect everyone on 3.5.
It's going to affect about 10 people, I think.
It'll mean
white wins. Hard luck, Harry. Well fought.
2, 3, 4,
well
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, extra 10 people get through. So that's fantastic news for those 10. Very good, very good, very good. I'm really pleased, actually. Yeah, thank you, Arjun, for playing. Because I mean, you know, both players didn't have to play for a win there. That
no,
yeah,
no, very impressive. Very, very impressive from both. And yeah, fingers crossed that they're both in the final. And yeah, can enjoy and see them play there.
Yeah. So yeah, well played all the qualifiers there. Well done, really way too bad. Oh, now are you going to play them in the under 14s? Okay. Well, good luck. Good luck. And yeah, so the actual championship starts on Friday, but we will be joining you again tomorrow for it's some kind of, is it Blitz or Rapid tomorrow?
Is it Rapid final? No, it's not Rapid final, is it? It's
I think it's the Blitz final, actually.
Or the Bullet final.
Blitz, I think.
Okay.
Open Blitz final is what I think it is that we are doing tomorrow evening at 7. So that should be lots of fun. Congratulations to everyone who got through and everyone who were having their first tournament did well. Everyone who played, and yeah, looking forward to seeing you all in the finals starting Friday.
Fantastic. See you then.
Thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching.